2 winters ago, Russian journalist Andrei Novikov made a near-fatal mistake. In a local newspaper, he blamed Vladimir Putin for an unjust war in Chechnya. What followed was 11 months of forced medication in a psychiatric hospital. Injected daily with a drug used to treat paranoid schizophrenia. The doctor said it would cure him of his anti-Russian beliefs.
I think the example that we see in China today is very instructive. China is a good or a bad example, depending on how you look at it. I say it's a good example because it shows us how a totalitarian regime can use psychiatry as a political weapon to discipline and torture, literally, and frighten people into submission. What's happening here in the United States seems to be following in the same footsteps of the path that's already been taken in China. If we were to have a mandatory a mental health screening, as they like to call it, not only of all of the young people in school, but all adults and everybody, it would become a terribly effective tool in the hands of totalitarians. Because surely you could find something in everybody's questionnaire if they answer questions honestly. Have you ever had feelings of anxiety? Are you ever unhappy with what the government does? You put that in the context of everything else that's happening in society, the growth of government, the growth of big government, the diminishing of personal freedoms, the desire to regiment the population and eliminate opposition to the political leaders. When we put it into that picture, now it takes on a very special meaning. When you look at the area of psychiatry, it becomes particularly worrisome because many people are not sensitized to the political implications of using that field. If we're not willing to challenge, and if we're already afraid that somebody's going to put this label around us, then we've already lost. There's no turning it around. The time has come for us to stand on our convictions, to know what is right, to take the risks, and stand for freedom.
I ask you, what kind of a world do you think it would be if we all went around diagnosing each other with mental illnesses and comparing people physically to clowns and to psychotic mass murderers in order to diminish and destroy them? People will be afraid to disagree with anyone else out of fear of being labelled with a mental illness. It would be a truly hellish world. Are you going to prove the Christians right? You don't need to resort to the fallacy of personal attacks. Simply disproving a person's beliefs is more than enough. It's your choice.